Ping is good. I mean, yes, it's good, bro. Good. Yeah. Nice.
I'm going to take this empty can, provide the welcome at the same time, and I'll cut a small section off so that it fits perfectly inside the can. Move it upside down, right into the dirt next to no fire. I'll cook a few small holes at the top, so let the steam and gases escape. And I'll build my fire all around. And it turns the wood body into charcoal. So I'm just going to let that cook for about an hour or so. This is something I like to do on long.
This video shows you exactly how candy is made just by using a it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning the area hard. And as the wind comes into play over time, it brings more dry sand over the hole and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times, but he only does it 3. After the 3rd time, he begins removing some of the loose sand surrounding the Sutay Canyon. This represents how natural forces shape real canyons over time. And when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do to the rock over time. They carve through layers of it, and when he finally cracks it open, you can see the exact formation of a modern-day canyon. This video shows you exactly how a canyon is made, just like because when he pours water into this sandy hole, it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning the area hard, and as the wind comes into play over time, it brings more dry sand over the hole and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times, but he only does it 3. After the 3rd time, he begins removing some of the loose sand surrounding the sand. This represents the and when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do to the rock over time. They carve through layers of it, and when he finally cracks it open,
No scope, baby.
modern day canyon. This video shows you exactly how a canyon is made just by using a water bottle. Because when he pours water into the sandy hole, it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning the area hard. And as the wind comes into play over time, it brings more dry sand over the hole and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times, but he only does it 3. After the 3rd time, he begins removing some of the loose sand surrounding the Sutay Canyon. This represents how natural forces shape real canyons over time. And when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do to the rock over time. They carve through layers of it, and when he finally cracks it open, you can see the exact formation of a modern-day canyon. This video shows you exactly how a canyon is made just by using a water bottle, because when he pours water into this sandy hole, it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning the area hard, and as the wind comes into play over time, it brings more dry sand over the hole and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times, but he only does it 3. After the 3rd time, he begins removing some of the loose sand surrounding the Sutay Canyon. This represents how natural forces shape real canyons over time, and when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do to the rock over time. They carve through layers of it, and when he finally cracks it open, you can see the exact formation of a modern-day canyon. This video shows you exactly how a canyon is made just by using a water bottle. Because when he pours water into this sandy hole, it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning
Wait,
the area
two more.
hard. And as the wind comes into play over time, it brings more dry sand out of the hole, and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times, but he only does it 3. After the 3rd time, removing some of the loose sand so it consumes the canyon. This represents how natural forces shape real canyons over time. And when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do to the rock over time. They carve through layers of it, and when he finally cracks it open, you can see the exact formation of a modern-day canyon. This video shows you exactly how a canyon is made just by using a water bottle. Because when he pours water into this sandy hole, it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning the area hard. And as the wind comes into play over time, it brings more dry sand over the hole, and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times, but he only does it 3. After the 3rd time, he begins removing some of the loose sand so it consumes the canyon. This represents how natural forces shape real canyons over time. And when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do to the rock over time. They carve through layers of it, and when he finally cracks it open, you can see the exact formation of a modern-day canyon. This video shows you exactly how a canyon is made just by using a water bottle. Because when he pours water into the sandy hole, it eventually becomes compacted. This is due to the sun coming out and heating the sand, turning the area hard. And as the wind comes into play, it brings more dry sand over the hole, and the process repeats itself. This happens thousands of times. After the 3rd time, he begins removing some of the loose sand so it consumes
Don't give a fuck.
This represents how natural forces shape real canyons over time. And when he's done, he ends up having the perfect rock, but what he does next is amazing. He simulates what natural floods and forces do.
पड़े रिमोट ने जागृत
Layers of it, and when he finally
Oh my god, wow.
Where does he put the most dangerous prisoner in all of America? Inspector Lewis found the footage of a fancy dinner.
With such people hired every minute, I hired the right candidate fast with LinkedIn. LinkedIn.com/firefly.
Inspector Lewis found the footage of a fancy dinner where a famous actress was almost poisoned. He analyzed the engagement. The picture clearly shows that the second lady was the culprit. You see, the lady decided to wear gloves so she couldn't get poison on her hands and poison herself. Besides, if you were to poison someone, you would have to make the food look presentable. And if you take a look at the first lady's suit, it looks pretty terrible. Alex needed to get across a park in the middle of the night. He walked fast until out of nowhere a hooded man came up to him and knocked him out. The next day, Alex went to the Hampton police station to file a report. When he got there, the police were interrogating 3 suspects, Ben, Michael, and Bernie. The detective gave each of them a marker and asked them to write down their names. As soon as they finished, he arrested the right person. How did the officer know who to arrest? The detective wasn't all that random after. Alex was hit from the right side, so the police were trying to figure out who was left-handed.
And among these three guys, the only left-handed one is Bernie. On a moonless night, Mary decides to watch a horror movie before going to bed. She passes out on her couch, and the next thing she knows, she wakes up in a haunted castle. She hears screeching sounds and screams all over the place. She walks carefully to the kitchen, where she finds three suspicious meals ready to be eaten. Take a look at the plates. Can you help Mary figure out which of these plates is poisoned? So, the french fries look relatively okay. The cake has a spider climbing on top of it. But hey, it's protein, right? But the meat, the meat has a strange liquid coming out of it. That's the one that's probably poisoned. The airport police are having a lot of trouble these days. Many convicts escape prison and are trying to leave the country as fast as they can. Take a look at this image. You gotta figure out ASAP who the fugitive is. It's the lady on the right. Although the woman in the wanted poster is blonde, she must have dyed her hair brown to try to get through security. But her lips and freckles are exactly the same as in the picture. Something weird happened to Johnny's wedding day. He was busy tackling some last-minute problems.
Johnny, yes, Papa.
How comical. He hit his head pretty strongly, but when he woke up, he didn't know where he was. He lost his long and short-term memory, and there were 4 different brides in front of him, but he didn't know who his real bride was. Take a look at the image, and first of all, try to rule out which of these brides is actually life-threatening to John. Do you see the hidden poison jar on that bride? The bride on the left is probably pretty dangerous. You should rule her out first. Jane and Brendan really didn't like each other. They were sharing a flat because they were short of money. What Brendan didn't know is that Jane had some evil plans. She planned on poisoning one of his meals, since she was the one that always prepared the food. One day, she took the same piece of meat for William. She cut it in half, ate her share, and put it in the other one. After he ate it, he started to feel really bad and was taken to the hospital. The question is, how did Jane manage to survive while Brendan got sick? Jane took poison.
Ryujin is the best for Smash. No cooking.
Take a look at this image. Who do you think is being more careless here? It's the girl on the right. She's almost falling out of the boat. She should go to the middle and help balance the weight.
Kellogg's Muesli. 12 grains, fruits, nuts and seeds got energy. None power breakfast. Kellogg's Muesli. Uncommon peanut butter power breakfast.
అర్థం ఏదేడుంది నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ వస్తున్నారు
Oh my goodness, friends.
Who do you think is being irresponsible here? Let's see. If the person the snake is too close to her face, it could hurt her. While the crocodile is simply interested in a meal down the feeder. An old lady was shopping at the mall when she saw something strange. She looked at a woman all dressed in orange at the cashier and shouted that she was seeing a prisoner that must have just escaped from prison. The woman in orange felt really confused, called the police, and got the old lady kicked out of the mall. What exactly happened here?
Old lady is stupid.
న్యూ కలెక్షన్ ఆడ బట్టలు ఉండాలి అది ఆఫ్ చేసుకుంటుంది.
The woman was dressed in orange overalls. It was just a fashion trend, but the old lady mistook it for prison clothing. In a parallel reality where humans, witches, and all types of beings coexist, Jenny and Lawrence were playing hide and seek. They were inside a huge old mansion. Jenny spent hours looking for her friend until she stepped inside the study. There were footprints up until the middle of the room, and then they disappeared. The only window of the room was open. Take a look at the picture. Can you figure out what happened here?
ఏం అదే ఒక విండో ఎస్కేప్ చేస్తున్నాడు.
Lawrence was a shapeshifter. This explains why the footprints didn't reach the window. Plus, look at the bird food on the floor. He probably shapeshifted into a bird and escaped. Katie got lost in the desert. She watched for hours when suddenly she came across a huge oasis. But to reach the main waterfall where she could drink some water, she had to cross a bridge. There were 3 bridges leading to the same place. The first bridge was far from the ground, and its rope looked like it could rip at any second. The second bridge had some hungry-looking alligators following. The last bridge stood above a lake full. Which bridge should she choose?
Burgir. Third bridge. Third bridge, correct.
పాయిజన్ డాడీకే వచ్చేదండి.
A group of friends rented a fancy villa for vacation right on the seafront. When they arrived, the hostess offered them cake and drinks. They chatted and ate the delicious cake when suddenly 2 of them started to feel really bad. They were immediately taken to the hospital and the doctor said they found poison in their body. Take a look at the image. How did the other 2 get survived after eating cake?
అదంతా ఒక పాయిజన్ లేదు. ఇంకా తినేయాలనుకుంటా.
They were doing diet.
That's easy. The poison wasn't in the cake. The poison was on the drinks the hostess served them. If you look closely, the friends that felt sick took the hostess offered them, and the others didn't. Oh my! Mark, Greg, and Lydia are doing terribly financially. So they walked into a local supermarket looking for the cheapest thing to buy. One of them was planning on stealing something. But hey, can you figure out who just stole something? It was Lydia, the little girl. She's hiding something in her shirt pocket. Can you see?
That's it for today. So hey, if you pass by your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or just
We'll cuisine food, bro.
on the bright side.
Guys, ರಾಹುಲ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಹುಡುಗಿನೂ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ.
Relax guys, ಪರಿಚಯ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಹೊಸ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ₹99 ಮಾತ್ರ.
ಕಿಂದ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸೂಡು ಬ್ರೋ.
ನೋವಾಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಹೆದರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ನಿಂಗೆ 640 ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ನೋವು.
ಹೌದಾ? ತಗೋ ವಾಲನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್.
ಪಾಲ್ತು
ಫೋರ್ಟ್ ನೈಟಾ
ಮತ್ತು ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ
ಊರಿಗೆ ಬ್ರೋ ತಲುಪಿತ್ತಾನ ಬಾಗ ಐತಪ್ಪ ಯೋಚನೆ.
ನೋವು ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ఏ విజి ఉంటుంది బ్రా.
Kim and Ashley are best friends. They decided to spend summer vacation in Italy together. They were very lucky to buy 2 tickets. Their flight was at 10 a.m. Unfortunately, when the girls arrived at the airport, they realized it was the wrong one. Now they have 2 options. Take a high-speed train for $100 to go to the right airport, or stay here and buy tickets for a later flight for $400. What should they choose? The second option. Look at the clock on the wall.
It's 9:55 a.m. The boarding for their flight is already over. They won't make it even if they take the high-speed train. Kim and Ashley bought new tickets. They went to the airport restaurant to drink coffee. But one weird detail scared Kim away. She suggested they should leave that place as soon as possible. What did Kim see? This woman over there is a zombie. Wow, how did she get through security? When it was finally time to board the plane, it turned out there were no more economy class seats left. Kim and Ashley were offered to fly in business class. There, the girls saw 3 people. When the flight attendant served them fresh juice, she whispered that Kim and Ashley were extremely lucky. They were about to travel next to a famous Italian billionaire. Can you guess which of these passengers is the billionaire? This glamorous lady is a good candidate, but it's very unlikely a billionaire will wear a 100% polyester coat. This guy's business suit is very elegant, but look at his shoes. They seem quite cheap and worn out. This funny gentleman must be a real billionaire. Although his outfit is rather casual, his gold watch looks very expensive. The glamorous lady began to chat with Kim and Ashley. She told them she had recently visited an exotic island with her friends. Then she showed the girls some pictures. When the lady went to the bathroom, Ashley whispered to Kim, "This woman is a liar. She photoshopped this picture." How did Ashley know that? It's all about the shadows. They all look natural, except for this one. The glamorous lady took a sip of her juice and started coughing. Suddenly, she fainted and fell into the billionaire's arms. He was ready to shout for help, but Kim stopped him, saying the woman was faking it. How did she know that? The content of her bag is full of the billionaire's pictures and magazine articles. She also has a tattoo with his portrait on her leg. This woman is obsessed with it. It was lunchtime, and the billionaire offered Kim to play a game. There were 3 boxes. One of them contained a meal. There was a statement on each box, but only one of them was true. Can you help Kim figure out which box has food inside? If the food is in the first box, there are 2 true statements. And if the food is in the third box, there are also 2 true statements. But we need just 1 true statement. That's why the food can only be in the second box. Kim opened the box. She saw a delicious meal and a bank card. The billionaire said, "Congratulations, you won $5 million." Had the same suitcase as 2 other passengers, and they had a little quarrel. Can you help distribute the 3 suitcases among these people? The first suitcase belongs to this woman. It's covered in her dog's hair. The second suitcase has some traces of a star sticker. You've probably noticed it before on Ashley's bag. And the third suitcase belongs to this man. Since Kim and Ashley were now very rich, they decided to find a real estate agent who could help them rent a luxurious villa. They wanted to spend their vacation there. The agent showed them 3 houses. Can you help the girls choose the best one? There are cockroaches in the first house. They won't make very pleasant neighbors. The second house is too old. There's a crack in the wall, which doesn't look safe. And the third house looks pretty good. As for the pool, it can be easily cleaned. Kim and Ashley left the villa and went sightseeing. When they returned, they found out that someone had stolen their passports from the safe. The girls called the police, and they interrogated 3 suspects. The chef was too busy making dinner for Kim and Ashley. The cleaner was dealing with the pool all day, and the gardener said he had been outside planting flowers. He didn't notice anything suspicious. Who was lying? The gardener. If he planted the flowers, where are they? The police returned Kim and Ashley their passports and arrested the gardener. The next day, the girls went shopping. Sellers wanted to take advantage of rich and naive tourists and offered them overpriced souvenirs. Only one of these three items is a good deal. Can you guess which one? Take a look at this Venetian mask. It says made in China, which means that this mask can't be real. This magnet is of very low quality. The word Italy is spelled with an error. It simply can't cost $100. This blue cheese doesn't look fresh, but it's The ladies went to the local museum and got lost in its corridors. They found a strange basement with 3 doors. There was a time portal to the Middle Ages behind the first door. Behind the second door, there was an evil mummy. It cursed anyone who bothered it. Finally, the third door was protected with a laser alarm system. It cut through anything that touched the laser beams. Which door should the girls choose? The second one. The mummy is sleeping peacefully inside its sarcophagus. If Kim and Ashley are quiet and don't come close, they can just walk by it. When the girls got outside, they saw a crowd of reporters around the museum. Someone has stolen the most expensive painting. The police questioned 3 suspects. Giovanni, the cleaner, said he had been washing the bathroom when the theft happened. Luca, the museum guide, saw a suspicious woman with a large folder not far from the crime scene. And Bianca, the suspicious woman, was just drawing sketches as part of her art school homework. Who's lying? Luca. He has a whole canvas under his shirt. Kim and Ashley came to a restaurant to enjoy the local cuisine, but they noticed a vampire among the visitors. So the girls decided to leave. Which visitor is the vampire? This elderly lady is wearing sunglasses in the evening. Also, she doesn't have a shadow. Then Kim and Ashley took a boat trip. A local photographer took their picture and printed it on 2 similar t-shirts. Then he offered the girls to buy these souvenirs. But Kim noticed 3 differences between these pictures. Can you see them too? Here they are. The ladies came to a bakery. Kim ordered a salad and coffee, while Ashley wanted to eat something sweet. The barista offered her 3 remaining options. Help Ashley make the right choice. Someone has already tasted this cupcake. Ants live inside this donut. It's probably not very fresh, but this croissant is set.
Still doing your sleeveless nights? Change that with Stay-Free Secure Nights. It has a wider back and longer length than a regular pad that gives you better leakage protection at night. Choose worry-free sleep, only ₹50 for 6 pads. Yochisiles is a boneless. TSC boneless range, keeping it up to 99.
In the evening, Kim and Ashley arrived at the villa. The owner was there, and he was furious. He had received any rental because Kim and Ashley's car presented by the billionaire was blocked. Suddenly, they heard breaking news on TV. Some scammers had robbed the billionaire. All his accounts were empty. 3 people commented on the situation. The billionaire's driver said his boss had many enemies. The billionaire's girlfriend complained that now she couldn't even afford a new haircut, and his PA said they would try to return the money soon. Ashley knew for sure that one of them was hiding something, but who? The girlfriend. If she had no money, how come she left the boutique with so many purchases? The owner of the villa offered Kim and Ashley a deal. If you manage to prepare my favorite cocktail, I'll forget about your debt. The girls had no choice, so they agreed. The man gave them the recipe, but the last ingredient was coated. Can you guess what ingredient it is? If you mix blue and yellow, you'll get green. So the ingredient must be green grapes. Next morning, Kim and Ashley woke up locked in a room with two doors as they told the exit. If they chose the wrong door, they would stay in the room forever. And if they picked the correct door, they would end up with loads of jewelry, money, and designer clothing that would be enough for the rest of their lives. One more, he's lying, but they always told the truth. Kim and Ashley didn't know their identities. The girls could only ask one question. What should they ask? The question should be, if I asked the other guard which door leads to the treasures, what would he say? If they asked the guard who always tells the truth, he would say that the other guard would point to the wrong door. And if they asked the liar, he would point to the wrong door too. In either case, both guards would point to the wrong door. So Kim and Ashley should just choose the other door.
ನಾವು ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚಳವಳಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ತುಂಬಿದಾಗ ಏನಾದರೂ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಬಹಳ ಬಯಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆತಿಥ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೊರತೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಇವತ್ತು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
Bring out your finest.
A woman went out of the airport. She hailed a taxi and gave the directions to the driver. As soon as they drove off, the woman started to tell me. Her elaborate annoyed the driver. He turned to her and said, "I can't hear what you're saying. I'm all." The woman was shocked and didn't open her mouth for the rest of the ride. Only after she got out of the taxi did she realize the man had lied to her. How did the woman understand? If the driver had hearing problems, he wouldn't have been able to follow her directions. Detective James was invited to Long Hill College, where more and more students had their things stolen. The detective was asked to investigate these cases. In a week's time, the man had 3 suspects. "What were you doing when the last theft happened?" he asked them. Thomas said, "That day I was away. I had to take my younger sister to her rehearsals." Amanda replied, "I spent that day at the library, getting ready for my presentation." And Ryan said, "This summer, I'm going to Denmark with my parents. That's why I spent all my free time learning Dutch." Detective James immediately understood who was lying. Can you figure it out? He was right. They speak Danish in Denmark. Dutch is the language of the Netherlands. Jason works in the same company as Amy, a bright and lovely girl. The guy has had a crush on Amy since they first met. To attract the girl's attention, Jason agrees to take part in the brain challenge game organized by their company. The first task is to crack a Rebus puzzle. Jason is given a piece of paper. That's what he sees there. It doesn't take the guy long to figure out the answer. What is it? It's broken promises. Jason is one of the few who gave the correct answer. He moves to the next level. He finds himself in a room full of random stuff. There, he needs to find an object that would be the answer to the following question. What goes up when the rain goes down? Look around and help Jason find the needed object. The guy chose a red and white umbrella, and that was the right answer. His next challenge was to get out of a basement. There are no windows there. Jason sees just one door with a letter combination lock. The only thing that can probably give him some hint is a note he finds in the farthest corner. P plus 3, N minus 1, B minus 1, N plus 4, S plus 1. What's the code word? Jason needed more time to crack this riddle, but he managed to get out of the basement. The code word was SMART.
The key to this riddle was hidden in the alphabet. P plus 3 following letters is S. N minus 1 letter is N, and so on. Jason is amazed to find out he's one of the 2 contestants to make it to the finals. Now, he has to do his best to win. The guy comes up to the table with 3 cups in it, but only one of these drinks is safe to try. The others are poison. And even though a mistake won't cost Jason his life, the consequences will be unpleasant. The drinks are tea with sugar, cappuccino, and hot chocolate. Which one should Jason choose? If it was indeed sugar in the tea, it would have melted completely. But it didn't happen. Cappuccino looks suspiciously green. It's probably unsafe to drink. Jason